going?
So he said anytime after 2 p.m. tomorrow.
Okay, let me just call this buyer real quick and then I will. Hey Bradley, it's Sadie. Is this still a good time for you?
Yes, ma'am.
Awesome. How are you?
Doing good. How about you?
Good. I am just, so I met with your wife, Nicole, yesterday evening. She kind of gave me the rundown of your guys' situation, not really having luck, with the house shopping process. So I'm here to help you. I told her that I wanted to talk to you and kind of, go over everything her and I went over yesterday. I have like a good idea of what you guys want. Something that is going to be enjoyable to live in, but also worth it as the investment property because it's not going to be your main primary, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So the agent that you guys were working with, I know that she submitted an offer for you guys, and there was probably a buyer broker agreement in there. And in order for me to help represent you and give you professional legal real estate advice, I have to have that canceled. I've helped many clients in the past cancel that buyer broker agreement. All you have to do is email her. I don't know what your communication has been with the other agent.
Mm-hmm. We have good communication. The other agent was actually my aunt. She's a real estate agent, but we don't know if I don't know if either the market is just so dry right now or just because she's not her main job.
Yeah.
I just feel like it wasn't moving fast enough.
Yeah.
Which I understand it's not a buyer's market right now, but
I would say it's a pretty well-balanced market. So I am in real estate full-time, been in it for 7 years. I run a team. And right now I am getting really good luck as far as what I've had in the past markets, as far as buyer concessions go. So, getting the closing costs covered, home inspection repairs, really making sure that the buyer is taken care of, running comps before the offer is submitted, because I don't I'm sure the list price is what the value's at, but I always double check everything, making sure you guys are in the best position. Also, when you guys submit offers, I'll email the actual listing and the full report of it to send to the loan officer. And the loan officer will tell you guys and myself, hey, this is how much the mortgage estimate payment's going to be. This is how much closing costs it's going to be. So, that's where I try and ask the seller to get some of that paid for you guys. So as far as the status with using your aunt, are you looking to have another agent and cancel that buyer broker agreement? Just because I really do want to, because I've looked at these other properties, and I was explaining this to Nicole last night. If for any reason that's not canceled and I sell you guys a house, she could go towards my broker and get my commission after my hard work, and because that buyer broker agreement is signed. So
we understand.
Yeah, so if I'm more than happy to help you guys, I would just need that canceled, and then I checked on that one that Nicole sent me last night in Aragona that you guys really liked, and that one is still available. They do have an offer in hand, but nothing is accepted.
Okay. Can you disclose what the offer is?
So if they tell me, I don't represent the sellers. So what I do is I call the agent and I try and be adorable and best friends and say, hey, is there anything that you could recommend to me that, what that offer looks like and what we could do better? Because when the rates were crazy, 2% and 3%, so it was so hard for my buyers because everyone was overbidding 20 to 30K and then waiving home inspection. And that's where I kind of got creative. And obviously net's important to the seller, but there's so many things to add into the contract that can make the offer stronger, like a higher EMD, a local loan officer, which I know you guys have, which is good. There's certain things that just other than, you know, overbidding or, you know, not asking for closing costs can help. It just is situational. So I tried calling her. She texted me, and I just asked her to give me a call when she can. And if she tells me what the other offer is, and I will definitely disclose that to you, because I don't represent the sellers. I represent you guys.
Okay.
Yep. And that address was 784 Holiday Lane.
Yeah, I already talked to my wife. I'm gonna talk to my aunt today and just let her know. You know, there's no hard feeling or anything. We're really looking to just get this process over. We've been trying for the longest. First, it was getting the VA loan through the VA, trying to get them their information so I can get my COE, and then I started my business, was it last year, and I've been trying to focus more on that, and then she's got the whole process with her, I think citizenship status is changing, so just a whole lot, and I would love to just focus on that without having to look at the house and look at the rest.
Well, and the first sign that I picked up on was, like, the first thing I do with all my buyers is I get them pre-approved with the loan officer, because I don't want to shop if I don't know what the budget is. And then the second thing I always do is give them access to my MLS. So I'm sending you direct listings. The only thing that my system doesn't do is picks up on the condition of the home, because I have a lot of families that want turnkey, fully renovated. But as far as like area, purchase price, location, you name it, I can have that custom to you guys, and I'll be sending you listings. Now, if you see a listing come through and it's a complete like disaster, just discard it. But what's nice about the portal is, like, you get it before Zillow does, which is nice, because once it hits Zillow, that's when it starts getting crazy, and then it's like 2 days goes by and it's already an offer in hand. And then you can favorite it, add notes. Yeah. So when you do talk to your aunt, the only thing, and this isn't me requesting it, I know it's going to be my broker, whether it's a text or email, I just need something in writing stating, like, you know, thank you for understanding that, you know, our shift of direction of using another agent, you know, something where it states that you did have that verbal conversation of canceling that buyer broker just to protect my license.
Yeah, just a confirmation.
Yeah, for any reason something came out of it, and I have something physical to show my broker. And then the 606 Charles Court is just posted today. It is available. It is owner occupied, so they are requesting an appointment. So I don't know if you and Nicole want to, after you talk to your aunt, give me a day and time. I'm more than happy to show this to you guys, and then I'll find out some information on that other house with the offer. And yeah, I'll get this thing rolling. And I don't like dragging my buyer's feet in time. You know, time is of the essence. So we look at a house that day, and I run the comps, and you guys want it, that offer will be submitted that day.
Perfect. I did have a few questions for you.
Of course.
There's a lot that obviously we've both never done this before. I don't understand how most of it works. There's just a couple things. What was it? So our offer from our broker was, it says 260 on the letter, but when we talk to her, it's more like 240, but we can make it 260. I didn't understand the full detail. I think she said if we decrease the interest rate, I guess that would approve us for more, but she said it's more of a last resort because she thinks the rates are going to drop more. I just didn't know if you thought that might have been a good rate compared to other places.
Let me, do you have the loan officer's number that you could text me so I can call her? Because, Nicole was trying to explain that to me yesterday, and us, like, agents and lenders and title companies, we have like this, you know, lingo and like, you know, our ways of like kind of understanding the communication where it sometimes doesn't translate to the buyer. So if I talk to her, I think I'll have a more of an understanding before kind of, you know, giving you the best advice, and I'll see what that's about, and then I'll point you in the right direction on I think what's best.
Yeah, that's no problem.
I forget her name too. She told me. But I'll call her right after we hang up, and I'm going to need to talk to her anyways because I like to introduce myself and then have her email me the pre-approval letter. to be submitted with the offers. And then I also like to ask her an estimated closing cost, so I know what to ask from the sellers. If it's, negotiable, I can get that covered. And then I have both of your guys' emails, so I'm gonna get you guys set up on those listings. And then what I will also do for you, I was kind of telling Nicole this a little bit last night, but it's a lot of information, but rest assured that my style is I'm always going to educate you guys, and I'm always going to go over the paperwork, but I try and make it as easy as possible. It's just focus on the house that you guys like, pick out the house when I send you the listings, or if you find it, and I handle the paperwork. I make sure you guys are protected under the contingencies, making sure that the loan is going and the title work. So I try and make it as less stressful for you guys, but also very educational. And I will email you what to expect and the breakdown of when the offer does get accepted. I was telling Nicole last night, 2 checks that you should expect right away after the offer is expected is your earnest money deposit. And I believe you were writing a check for that last offer that you guys submitted, right?
Oh, we were about to.
Yeah.
And then canceled.
Yep. So that's the earnest money deposit. You can kind of look at it as a security deposit that is being held with the contract. If for any reason the home inspection happens and you're no, this is way too much work, or the seller's not willing to do the repairs, I keep my clients protected under that contingency. And if you withdraw, that earnest money deposit stays in my attorney's escrow account and it just moves over to the next house. Yep. So I make sure that now the only time you lose it is if last minute you change your mind, right? But if you don't withdraw from the contract and you guys go to closing, that $1,000 EMD goes towards you guys. It could either go towards the purchase price of the house or closing costs, or you could request it back if there's nothing owed. But typically there always is, the appraisal or stuff like that. And then the second thing is the home inspection, which is going to be $300 to $400. But I always tell my clients I'd rather you spend $300 than $300,000. We want to do our due diligence. There's always going to be, some repairs needed in a house, even on new constructions, but at least you know what it is. And then the last check that you'll be writing to the attorneys is whatever's owed from the contract, basically your closing costs if the seller doesn't cover it all. But you get notified of those kind of fees of that last check during the contract. So it's never unless a loan officer messes up, it's, she'll give you a good idea, it's going to fluctuate anywhere from, and I'm just throwing out random numbers, $2,000 to $3,000, right? So you'll, again, I'm very if I'm not communicating it to you, because if I can only communicate my lane of real estate, but if it has to do with the loan side or the title side, if they don't communicate it to you, I'm going after them and saying, hey, please update my client. So I like to make sure everyone's on the same page.
Okay, perfect.
Cool. And then I think the only thing I need is your full legal name. We're just putting you on the deed and title since you guys aren't legally married and that you're going to use your VA loan, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So, and I don't need that right away. It's just when we start submitting the offers, because that will be on the deed and title. But I guess right now the only thing I'll need from you is the loan officer's information, and then you'll get 2 emails I'll send to you and Nicole, the listings, and then the process of, what happens when the contract gets accepted.
Okay, perfect.
Cool. Did you have any questions for me?
Yeah, I had a couple.
Yeah.
First, do you need any documentation from our current realtor? Or just a simple text saying, please say you confirm, or please say you understand that we're, going to find another realtor.
Yes. Then it can either be from her or you. If you text her that confirmation after you talk to her, and if you screenshot that and send that to me, that's feasible too.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, that's perfect.
Yep. So that she doesn't have to reach out to me. As long as I've got something from the actual client with the writing, then that's good.
And another one is just kind of your opinion with a budget of $240 to $260. Where do you think most likely we're gonna find a house? We'd prefer to stay in Virginia Beach, but I'd rather not have to go to Portsmouth just because the toll on the bridge Going back and forth. Norfolk is okay. I know my wife doesn't really want to live in Norfolk, but as long as it's a good pocket of Norfolk, I wouldn't mind, and especially not Chesapeake. But we haven't seen anything pretty much on the market in our price range for Chesapeake.
Yeah. So Virginia Beach is definitely going to be tougher. Now you can definitely get like a unit in Virginia Beach, but it's probably going to be like a more condo, and condos are very nice for first time home buyers if like you don't have like kids or dogs. Like it's good for like, your guys' situation. You guys are a married couple, you have a cat, but the problem that I kind of see, so I think it's only good if they plan on selling it in 3 years when they're ready to like buy a bigger house. But for your instance, and I just had a buyer a couple months ago go through the same thing that we released, condo fees, they definitely affects your cash flow for an investment property, one, and then two, because they could always go up. And two, the condo associations, they restrict rentals. So it's not so much that they don't allow it, but they'll have a cap. So if there's like 20 doors in that association, they'll say that they only allow like 10 people to make their property a rental. So it's hard because like when you already make it a rental, the association may deny you because there's already 10 people utilizing it. So townhouse, I can definitely see in Virginia Beach is probably going to need some like cosmetic updates, and truly like that's kind of the thing I always recommend to my buyers is like focus on, if you're going to have to pick something to update and do new, I always like my buyers to do the cosmetic because then you can pick out your colors, your finishing touches, and as long as the structure is good, the crawl space, if there is one, HVAC, water heater, and roof, those bigger structural, like bigger ticket items are good, then that's, worth it. Again, though, that's if you want to, kind of quote unquote fix it up cosmetically. But I think at that price range, you could find a townhouse in Virginia Beach. Now, Chesapeake so I live in Chesapeake. I was raised in Virginia Beach, Ocean Lakes, Red Mill area, and I moved out to Greenbrier, and I could literally throw a rock at the Virginia Beach line. Now, I would say the only annoying thing, and this is just me because I'm constantly driving, is I do have an extra like 10-minute commute time, but I really do love Kempsville and Greenbrier area, and I really think that area is going to be great. And also like Central Town Center, Aragona area. When you start getting closer to the beach and the school districts of like First Colonial, Cox, that's where you're going to see that purchase prices increase. And you guys don't need that, right? Like this isn't, your guys' main primary home. This is like, it is, but short term. So I'd rather you guys get a good location, whether that be like that Greenbrier, Kempsville area that works into like Indian River, town center, because you're going to get a better price, and that's like the whole goal, because you want, to rent out what is more than what that mortgage is instead of overpaying.
Yeah, I can let you know pretty much I'm on the same page. I've been trying to tell Nicole when we're looking at houses, the only thing I really care about, or the big things to me, are the big ticket items. Like when was the HVAC put in? When was the roof put in? What's it called?
Water heater.
Like the water heater.
Yep.
All the big ticket items like that are what stand out to me. The inside, because I work in housing maintenance, we can update, I'll fix whatever she wants on the inside. Obviously, it's not going to be anything crazy because we can only qualify for certain condition houses with the VA loan. So I tell her, we can change a lot on the inside. So I'm just worried about the big ticket items. And of course, obviously, it's always location and price. I'm not going to spend a whole lot on it that's in a bad location.
Yes.
On a location that's probably, just because I think of it, it's obviously not our forever home.
Yep.
I think of it as when we leave and we're renting it out, the location, how much money do people make in the area, like what kind of schools, how many people are going to be renting in that kind of area. Whereas Chesapeake, I feel like not too many people are renting. Virginia Beach, you always have someone renting. Norfolk, you have a lot of people renting, but they don't make as much, and the quality of the tenants. You never know what kind of tenants you're going to have, but if you're in a bad area, you can only assume that you're probably going to get torn up.
1,000%. And so Virginia Beach, Chesapeake, there is a good amount of like rentals, but I would say that you're probably like the same style of a townhouse that you could rent out in Chesapeake. You could probably get like 300 more in Virginia Beach because the closer to the base you are. And that's kind of probably like your ideal client is someone who's in the military that doesn't want to commit to buying. They're only here for like a year or two. You know that they're going to get paid. As far as taking care of the townhouse and maintenance, that's kind of, undeterminable in a sense. You could have like that 21-year-old guy who's single and just, has his boys over. Or you could have, the tech guy who is an introvert and he stays home, right? But that's definitely what's going to base that on is, like you said, location, which I'm going to really focus on for you guys, making sure that it's going to drive good tenant traffic.
Yeah, and then the other big thing for me is, like, I look at, there's typically, like, two kind of renters that are going to rent a property like that. You've got a family, and then you just have an individual, or a couple. And so the family homes, I would consider, we looked at some that only have the one bathroom, but they have a nice backyard, front yard, they're in a good location. I'd consider those a lot better for, like, a family home. So I consider both, but I personally would rather have two bathrooms. I'd really, really rather have two bathrooms minimum. Two full bathrooms.
Yeah. What about like a townhouse that's like a 2-bedroom, 2-bath?
Yeah, that would be ideal.
Yeah.
That would be great.
Well, I think that you could get more rental, like you could get more for rent on a 2-bedroom, 2-bath more than a 3-1 because you may have that single mom that just does not want to share a kid or share a bathroom with her teenagers. You know what I mean? So I'm going to focus more on that. 3-1s are nice, but I think that as far as if you're going to, you're doing the investment and you want to, do it where you can get the most, I guess, I don't want to say value because 3-1s are valuable, but I think that 2-bedroom, 2-baths appreciate more because that extra bathroom.
Yeah, and it's just the fact that you have another bathroom. If you got 2 rooms, 2 baths, if you can have 2 tenants, and it's really no issue because they don't have to go in each other's bathroom. It's just it's more valuable to the tenant looking for something like that versus
I agree. In fact, I'm on my list, my portal right now. There's a pretty good. It's been on the market for 7 days. I'll have to make sure it's available. It's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath in Indian River, so kind of like where I'm by, where so the only thing is like that extra 10-minute commute, but there's only an HOA fee of $31, so there's no condo fee, which is great. It's a townhouse. I'll send you this and I'll make sure it's available. It's listed at $250, 1,200 square foot. So
what's the address?
This one is 1947 Woodgate Arch.
Okay, no, we didn't go there. What was my other question? Your schedule, because I'm off every day after 5 during the week. Weekends I'm free. Nicole is off 2 days a week that she can, not Friday, but any other Monday through Thursday, she can take 2 days off essentially. And she was like, I don't have to be with you if you need to go look at houses, and the same with her.
Correct.
If she has time. So what is your schedule?
Yeah. So I'm full-time. I'm very flexible. I was telling her last night too. So what I like to do with my couples is I love the group chat because especially if one isn't available and there's a new listing that hit the market, I don't want to wait, in a sense, you guys are both on the same page. You both know what you want, and it's not like you're not going to see that property, right? Because if, let's just say, Nicole's available and you're not, if we get that offer accepted, you're going to see the house during the home inspection, because I'm going to make sure the home inspection's scheduled when you guys are both available. So I think that if one is only available, then definitely go look at the house. I always take pictures and videos, and then you guys talk about the contract terms if you want to write it up. And then also during open houses, if for any reason, and I'll tell you when there's an open house. I like to go to open houses with my clients, but sometimes I'm with another client. So what I do is I tell my clients, go ahead and go. They're going to make you sign in. But what you do is you put my information so they don't blow up your phone. And then you tell me what you liked about the house. I'll still run the comps. And then I always still schedule a time for me to see it. But I mean, I've been doing this for so long. I always get like a good idea based on like the pictures and the location on, you know, the kind of house it is. And then, but yeah, as far as schedule goes, I'm flexible. They turn off the rain lock boxes at like 8 p.m. So, you know, after work is totally fine. Weekends are fine. Or if you're working and Nicole isn't. The only time that, you know, I may not be available is like if I'm with another client, but I also run a team. So if I've got to pay one of my agents to open up a door for me, that's also part of, you know, my services. So whether it's me, it'll be someone that is on my team.
Perfect. What works better for you, or how do you do it? Do you like doing one at a time, or get in a couple lists and every couple days or week go to look at a couple?
Yeah, I like to do a list if we're gonna be like out there, unless there's like a time crunch or maybe there's only like one house to look at. But I try not to exceed more than 4 houses a day. On the weekends are different. I'll like do 4. I feel like the 3 is very kind of a little too overwhelming. So what I do is I'll ask my clients to put their houses in order of like favorite. And then I'll also give you my feedback too. And I'm like, hey, actually, I think this one's like a great price, you know, great location. But at the end of the day, if you guys have a favorite, we'll do those first 3. And so, yeah, I like to do a stack.
Okay, perfect. And then I think probably my last question is typically right now, when people are putting offers in on houses, are you typically seeing over or under? Depends on the location and the condition. I'm seeing a little bit of over, but I am seeing closing costs getting covered. Now, if there's like a listing that's been on the market for 2 weeks, I typically like to not lowball them, but try and get as much out of it since it's like, you know, there's not competition, but not to the point where it's insulting, especially if when I run the numbers, I'm like, yes, this house is worth what they're asking for. Then I'll do like, you know, $5K under with closing cost assistance, because we also have the home inspection and that's part of negotiation. And once the seller sees that there are repairs, because that does cost them as well, I'll either get those repairs requested or another credit. So I don't like to like shoot so low at first unless, I mean, I'm like, okay, this seller is ridiculous. This listing agent knows for sure that this would not sell at this price. But if it's like prime location, prime condition, I would definitely probably say like 5 to 10 grand over bidding. And then I don't know, like if you guys plan on putting cash towards the house, because you have the VA loan, which is 0 down. But if it isn't like that kind of house that's going to have another offer on the table, just having you and Nicole discuss like, okay, like this is the max amount we are willing to bring to the closing table if it checks all your guys' boxes. Yeah, and then that was the other thing. We have, so all in all, between long-term savings accounts and everything that we could possibly, if we really wanted to, we have about 20 grand to put down. But really in like short-term, like ready to go same day, I think about 10 grand. Is that possible? If it's something we really love and we get overbid, we can work something out and be like, hey, we'll give you this amount pretty much up front. And
yeah, well, what we would do is do a $2,000 EMD, because again, like it doesn't go to them, but it shows like how more serious that, because you don't want to lose that $2,000, right? But I would never like have you guys give money to the seller up front, but you would say, hey, listen,
legally,
right. So but you could definitely do that with the earnest money deposit, 1,000%. And I would recommend like a $2,000 EMD. I've done 3,000, but I think 3,000 would be like the max, but it still goes towards you. And then 10 grand, if for any reason the seller's not paying any of the closing costs because it was a multiple bid situation. And I'll have to fact check this with the loan officer, but that is that would cover your closing cost. Because the rule of thumb is anything under $300,000 is going to be like around 3.5%. And your closing cost is your title fees and your lender fees. So let's just say at like 260 times 3.5% is around 9,100. So yeah. And that would be owed at closing if for any reason the seller doesn't contribute anything. But yeah, you guys will be fine. And that's like for the perfect house, or but we'll negotiate the closing cost. And that's what I always do is I call the listing agent. I'm like, hey, do you have any offers in hand? Is your seller willing to contribute any closing costs? Because then I can kind of get a feel on how to play that offer to kind of put you guys in the strongest position, but not willingly to say that you'll pay your own closing costs right away, because I don't want that for you guys.
Mm-hmm. And then how does it work between our broker when we find the house to put in the offer? Because she was saying that the rates on our loan change daily, and I guess the offer letter that she gave us was kind of, I don't know if it was that set rate that she pulled then, and it's going from then. I don't know if when we go to actually buy the specific house, if the rates will go up or down, or if it stays at whatever that locked in amount, or if we can see if it changed, if the rates got better. I don't.
Yeah, so if she is a broker, because you have in-house lenders and you have broker lenders. So my lender's a broker lender, which is great because the in-house lenders, they have more of a charge interest rate because they're using their own in-house financing, where the brokers, they go to different banks and they shop for you. So the rate lock does change daily. Now, you can't get a rate lock until you're under contract. But I know from my other loan officers, like if the rate drops, even if there's a rate lock already set in place, and they can just do a new rate lock.
Okay.
And then, but I'm going to have to double check and just look into what bank she's with and making sure it is a brokerage one and what rate she did quote you for. Because then what I can do as well, I mean, I don't know how tied you guys are to your loan officer, but I mean, you could always shop too. Like if she has a cost estimated sheet, I could send it to my lender and say, hey, could you do better than this? But he would need.
Yeah, I didn't know if what's called. I've just been busy. I didn't know if we could take that offer letter and everything and go to maybe Federal, or would it be better to go to another broker or just shop around with that rate? But I didn't know if we could if we were already on that.
Yeah, you definitely can. I definitely don't recommend Navy Federal. They're great for car loans, credit cards. They are notorious for neglecting a file and making a contract not close on time because that's just not their mortgages aren't typically their specialty. When I try and get a hold of the loan officer, it takes 3 to 5 days just for them to respond, and then that we lose the contract. Or now it puts you in a position where you're in breach of contract because the loan officer dropped the ball. I would definitely recommend if you're going to shop, which you can. One thing is you're not tied to loan officers, so I tell my clients that, if you want to shop around, I always recommend 3. I know Craig, for me, he's been doing all my buyers, and he's always beat out, if he can, the rate. And he works like me, late night, weekend. So if I need a pre-approval letter at 7 p.m. on a Thursday, he's sending it to me. Or if it's 8 a.m. on a Sunday. When did they pull soft credit when you did the VA application?
Oh, I actually, let's see. Shoot. I can pull up the date. It was a while ago, though.
Okay. Because in order for...
I want to say around New Year's.
New Year's. Okay, so it's been a month, yeah. So, if it was last week, typically sometimes they won't have to do another soft pull, but I will ask him if you could fill out the application without doing a soft pull, if he could do a cost estimate sheet, and if he could beat out your loan officer's numbers. Did she give you a cost sheet at all?
A cost sheet?
Yeah, it's like an estimate of like what your interest rate would be and your closing costs.
It might be. She gave us a what is it called? What is the thing? She gave the form that we give to our realtor.
Oh, your pre-approval letter.
Offer letter.
Yes. Okay, and it's fine. I can ask her for an estimated cost sheet, and I'll just say it's because I want to make sure that I've got everything on my end for when presenting offers. I won't tell her that you're shopping, because then if I have that, then I will ask Craig what he can do. So you'd still fill out another application, and I will double check with him to see if he could determine what his numbers would be. Versus hers. And then if he's like 90% like, yeah, Sadie, like I know I can do better, then, I'll leave that up to you, and you can get that application with Greg, and then we can go from there. But I just gotta get her information. Do you have her number, her email?
Yes, I can send it to you.
Okay, perfect. Cool, sounds good. Well, I will start working on that, reaching out to her, and then also sending you these listings. And then I guess once you look at these listings, let me know if you and Nicole or Nicole want to go see the one that she sent me in the group chat today, or any of the ones that I send you guys today.
Okay, no problem.
Cool. And I think we got everything covered. Did you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
I think that's about it.
Cool. And I told Nicole this yesterday too. You can't over ask me questions. If anything, like I prefer that. I train my agents and mentor them. I'm always like, sometimes I say the same thing twice, but that's just because I know it's a lot of information. I just want to make sure that, everyone is comfortable enough that you can always, if you feel like it's a dumb question, I promise you it's not. So feel free to ask me anything during the process.
Yeah, I think the only thing was, as long as you know what both of our interests are, and I know I'm supposed to listen to her, and we at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But I keep telling her this is not our forever home.
Yeah.
This is an investment, and we gotta look at it that way. So
Yes.
The biggest things I would very much prefer is having 2 full bathrooms. Obviously, there's some exceptions, but definitely 2 full bathrooms makes a huge difference.
I agree, yeah.
Just the area, the price, obviously, but I mean, we can only afford what we can.
Yeah.
And then just the big ticket items are the biggest thing to me.
Yep.
Because the house is $20,000 more than the other one.
Yep.
But it's got a new HVAC, roof,
Yep.
windows, that's a huge difference. So
1000%, I agree. Yep. And I think that maybe like when her and I walk houses, I'm more than happy to because it's so easy to get kind of emotionally tied to it. But I have a really good job of kind of like respecting the emotions, but also kind of giving like a perspective of the investment side of things. Like I'm a finance major, so I always like to try and educate on a sense like, well, you see like all these big ticket items are done. Look at this purchase price. The rental comps are looking great over here. So I'll definitely work her through that. But we're gonna stick right now for 2 2s, and we'll still keep we'll keep our eyes open and options open for 3 1s. But I truly believe like a townhouse, 2-bedroom, 2-bath is gonna be ideal for you guys.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That was the only other thing I look for is obviously the age of the house. Preferably something later than the 60s, because I'm not sure is 60 or 65 whenever you got to do the LVP for the house. I'm not sure. I know our company has we have to do an LVP, but I'm just imagining when I rent it out, if I have to touch the wall, do I have to do one, or just put it under the rug? It's that didn't touch the wall. But yeah, but a newer house is always worth a lot more to me.
Yeah, I agree. I think that I see the best structures sometimes anything that was built from the 70s to the 90s. Now in the early 2000s there was, but also in the early 2000s with that market crash when everyone was just going frenzy, a lot of these builders built these single family homes that were with very cheap materials because they were flying off the shelves. But I don't know if I don't really see that with like townhouses or condos, but truly for me, I'm a big fan of anything that was built like from like 70 to like maybe 2000. I'm not saying anything after 2000 is bad, but I've definitely seen like some home inspection reports and my home inspector's like, yeah, I mean, given like around this time when it was built, it was just probably a cheap builder, but yeah.
And definitely anything with brick. It's not like it's got to be brick. I could carry the way, but I think brick just stands up a lot longer over time.
Yeah. Okay. I'll try and look for brick. Like this one in Chesapeake is vinyl, but I'll still send it to you. But
it doesn't have to be. It's just like
like a preference. Yeah. Okay. I will definitely add that to my notes. And then I'll just wait for the loan officer's information, and then I will start working on this for you guys, and then I guess keep me posted how it goes with your aunt. Hopefully, she understands. But, at the end of the day, and this is what I told Nicole, do you want to avoid hurting someone's feelings or making sure you're in the right direction of your money and investment,
I should still understand that.
Yeah, cool. Well, I'm glad we got connected. You've got my cell phone number if you need anything in the meantime. And once you send me that stuff, I'll be working on all this for you guys, and we'll start scheduling showings.
No problem. As soon as we hang up, I'll give you the information for our broker, and then I'll try to text my on as soon as possible so I can get you that confirmation.
Perfect. Sounds good. Well, it's nice meeting and talking to you, Bradley, and I'm sure I'll see you soon once I schedule these showings.
It's nice meeting you, too. I hope we go see something soon.
Oh, we will. Don't you worry. I'll be on it for you guys. I typically am. I'm like a pit bull, like in, this industry. I'm nice, but I like to play a little aggressive, so... You're in the right hands.
All right. You have a good one.
Thank you. You too.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right. I am ready for that house when you are. He wants to flip, right?
Yeah, it's 1201 Algona Road. We're going to check it out tomorrow for...
What's the street name?
Algona, Algona Road.
Oh, this is right where my listing's gonna be at.
We need to be at like 155, 160 max for it to make sense, though.
Have you called the listing agent to see if... Good luck freaking talking to them. They're terrible.
Randy?
Yeah, and Cheryl.
Oh boy. I'm assuming you've had your incidents.
Yeah. Looks like they're free and clear.
Do they own this?
No. Cynthia Green is the owner.
Because it says owner phone, and it's the same phone number as the listing agent.
Yeah, because some agents put their cell phone number because if it expires, agents can't pull the phone number. Or sometimes agents try calling the owner.
Gotcha.
But you said you got to be at 165.
No, like 155, 160.
Oh, you wanted me to double check the ARV. That's what, right?
Yeah, I said like 280.
she wants to go see this John Hancock one. I think you guys already looked at it.
No. I'm glad I said something else, because sometimes she, we send her so many properties, she just kind of misses them.
Yeah.
We didn't see this one. We saw the one on Lamplight Lane.
Oh yeah.
This is also on Ocean Lakes. It's pretty nice. It's not vacant, so. Hi, this is Dr. Mary. Hey, how you doing, ma'am? My name's Cole Landry, Creed Realty. I texted you, I think, a day or so ago about your listing on John Hancock Drive. Yes, ma'am. So my client would like to see it today, if possible. Only thing is she just got off work and she's actually at a tax place. She's doing her taxes. She doesn't know exactly when she will be done. I'm assuming within the next 2-ish hours. So I was just seeing if there was a window between 4 and 5 that I could show her Hancock Drive. Okay. Yeah. For sure, yeah. The tax place my client's doing it at is only 6 minutes away from the property. So I'm just kind of waiting for her to tell me when she's done. And then as soon as I know that, I'll shoot you a text or a call. I'm estimating it might be 2 hours. It could be sooner or longer. I'm not too sure, so I'm just kind of giving you a heads up. Yeah. Okay, sounds good. I will let her know I'll try and get her to give me like the 30-minute heads up when she might be done, so I could kind of give you a heads up. But yeah, I'll keep you in the loop. Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. I'll be in touch.
I'd say 290.
Yeah, I was just trying to be conservative.
Yeah.
I was thinking like upwards of 285, 292, but I just.
No, I mean 285 is probably like conservative. I think you could push 290, but I mean honestly, what would be good is like if you list it at 285 and some bids higher, but.